I'm learning how to draw. Again. Not that I ever could draw, but I have started learning and quit a few times already. However, after having an AI art dedicated channel for more than a year, I'm now fairly sure that learning art, and not just drawing, is still worth it. So I will share my 10 reasons why, and who knows, maybe I'll convince you to start learning with me. You see, when you use AI, it has one major flaw. One that keeps it from being a tool for artists and makes it more of a replacement for simple commissions. As it is extremely hard to get something from your imagination and put it on the screen exactly how you want it. So, to fix that flaw, we have the first reason: control. Which, hey, if you want to use AI just to create simple ideas and that works for you, go for it. It's not like I can stop you anyway. But even in that case, you would benefit from having AI create what you want. And some of you may say, but we have control at home. And while it is true that I have made some videos focused on how to control AI, there is a hard cap to how much control you can get without some level of artistic skills. And even in those videos, I rely a lot on drawing. Basic, but drawing. Of course, all these tools will evolve over time, and I will leave my take on speculation about AI's future at the end of the video. But for now, the reality is that you can't control a lot of stuff properly with AI alone. And if you want to tell your own stories in a world that you have thought up, there will be no such thing as close enough when bringing that to reality. The backgrounds need to have a consistency throughout the story to create memorable places. We did this using 3D plus AI, but that still pushed you to learn some 3D skills, and it wasn't all that great. Some tools are coming out to help you control lighting, but they are still pretty bad and don't really allow for actual control. If I want to create a nice rim light, for example, I need to pray that external tools understand what I need. And with this same example, I can talk about fan art. If you're lucky, you can train Alora, which takes a long time. And in that case, it is likely that the generation has some misses that are hard to clean up even within painting, while drawing can change that super easily. And there are more examples of this, like creating your own character with a good character design that adheres to the story and that doesn't feel generic, creating consistent patterns or tattoos, having well-expressed and meaningful motion, or creating complex images. Which, even if regional prompter and inpainting help, it is very hard to keep everything looking sharp and well integrated. I'm using control as an umbrella term, so some of the other reasons could be explained here, but I wanted to go more in depth on some parts. Because even if the control reason loses to the passing of time, I think there are other reasons that most likely won't. But speaking of time, the second reason covers just that. Future-proofing yourself. The laws on AI-generated art are not really well defined yet. We do know, however, at least in the US, that an image fully generated by a robot is not copyrightable, nor is your prompt. And I'm pretty sure this will mean that you will need to demonstrate significant human contribution with both your artistic skills and creativity in order to claim even AI-assisted images as yours. Of course, you may not care about copyright at all, but companies do, and that could mean the difference between job and no job. Not just that though, we are already seeing licensed models that don't let you sell the images generated with them. I'm no lawyer, but probably the only way to ensure you don't fall into that trap is to be able to fair use your way through it. And what if you're only interested in the realism side of generating with AI? You probably don't really care about being able to do paint overs. Well, learning art comes with the development of an extremely important passive skill that will always matter. Reason 3 being learning to see. Skilled artists are able to pick up on way more information than other people, and this applies to both drawings and realism. It's hard to talk about what I don't know, but anyone who has studied any type of art will understand exactly what I mean. Things like all of a sudden starting to notice the bounce light affecting the objects on your desk, seeing the actual color of stuff instead of assuming, or even patterns in water or trees, where if I look at this now, I just get overwhelmed and can't really tell what is going on. I'm seeing a 2-step generation while an artist sees a 30 steps one. A great example of this is looking at videos where pros correct drawings of newer artists, someone like Angel Ganef or Mark Brunet. And it isn't like these new artists don't know the theory. Sometimes you don't even notice when something looks wrong, or feel it looks wrong but you don't know why, and even less so how it should look instead. And that happens with both drawings and AI-generated realism. You could be posting something that looks fine to you without realizing how bad it actually is. And even when someone pointed it out, you still would have no idea how to fix it. Which brings us to the next reason. Save a lot of time. Even when you know what to fix and can imagine how it should look like instead, you still need to fix it. You could go and iterate with AI until it looks fine, or for drawings, you could just fix it on the spot. No need to iterate over and over for better and more expressive hands. To pray for the LoRa to get all the details right, and no need to fine-tune your prompts hoping that AI will get what you mean. Just sketch the idea for a control-net reference or image-to-image. Like with InPaint Sketch, which I use a lot, and it still requires basic drawing skills. This makes it so you can get what you want without having to spend an uncertain amount of time generating back-to-back, waiting for AI and losing the flow of what you were doing. And of course this works with 3D or photo bashing too. But these are all artistic skills that require time and effort to learn. I've said this a lot on my videos, but sometimes 10 minutes of manual work can save you hours of trial and error with AI. And then you have the classic art gods like Sam Does Arts, who could finish a masterpiece in the time I sketch this trash. And that even after hours of me using AI and generating, mixing and painting over, the results I get are not even close to theirs. And all of that while they keep that super characteristic art style, which in case of Sam Does Arts, it's a style so unique to him that it establishes his brand, and it makes sure that whenever you see a drawing in that style, you already know it's his. This is a very important thing to achieve, so believe it or not, the fifth reason is actually art style. And yeah, there are LoRa's for style already, but AI has the tendency to add its own style into the image. If you know how to draw, not only will you be able to create your own art style without having to create a mix and match of multiple LoRa's, having very little say over how the result goes, but you can also more easily identify if AI is changing that style you were going for, and correct it. For companies, this is super important too, because they are usually very strict with that. Stories need consistency to maintain the audience engaged and avoid confusing the viewer. And I don't know why, but this character is telling me that the sixth reason is actually freedom. This might be a me thing, but I think it's pretty common to get frustrated when you want something specific and AI just won't do it. And this happens because I depend on it, since I'm unable to do it myself. If I knew that instead of wasting 3 hours trying to generate something, I could just pop onto Photoshop and be done with it, I would be way happier when creating images. With peace of mind that no matter what comes your way, you will be able to deal with it without relying on what AI is able to do at the time. And there are a lot of things AI sucks at. The biggest one being reason 7, storytelling. For me, one of the most important parts of any image, drawing or not. It is what makes you care about what you are seeing and getting invested in it. Being able to see an art piece and immediately understand what is going on now, what was going on 5 seconds ago, and what will happen in the next 5 seconds. What the world or the environment are like, who the characters are and what are they feeling. How should I feel about them? There are many things that contribute to good storytelling, like composition, lighting, expressions, and overall very subtle aspects like color, shapes, camera angle, poses, details, etc. The best examples I've seen of this that most of you will probably know about are League of Legends splash arts, where every single stroke has an important purpose and either gives you new information on what is going on or guides you to that information. If you're interested, TV Skyen has a great series analyzing its splash arts, and can talk about one image for like 20 minutes at a time. All of that while AI is doing this. Backgrounds that usually make no sense and that any storytelling they have is pure coincidence. And these are very hard to change for something specific with just prompting. Another part that helps with storytelling as well as making an image stand out, and that you will most definitely get better at when practicing art skills, is Reason 8, better post-processing. Movies have entire teams that only do stuff like color correction and more subtle types of post-processing. A lot of it is for clarity and quality, but it is also a way to set the mood and feeling of the scene. Not only that, but good post-processing requires you to understand the importance of values, silhouettes, and contrast, as well as to be able to properly modify them to guide the eye of the viewer to what really matters, making an image visually appealing. Post-processing alone can give it very different meanings, and make you feel very differently about it. It could even take a soulless image and make you feel anything at all. Same thing goes for composition, of course. Some of it can be done with AI, but you need to know how to prompt for it. Basic knowledge will get you basic prompts, and basic prompts will get you basic images. In an internet filled with images, and even more so AI generations, being able to pull the viewer into your image and keep them looking at it for a while is what makes an artist be able to live from their work. AI, at least at the moment, is pretty cool to look at. It creates pretty images that are easy and addicting to create. But the lack of story, purpose, and intent behind them makes it so you get tired of looking at it fairly quickly. And in my opinion, that's something that probably for a long time will remain like that. Bringing me to reason number 9. Artists are, and probably will always be, better than AI. Of course, me drawing this doesn't make the result better than what AI can currently do. Good art is relative after you reach a certain level, but the focus of AI is to create something decent quick, which, as I said at the beginning of the video, works for basic commissions for vague and undefined ideas. Of course, I won't ignore that what a year ago was a woman dancing can now be this woman dancing in this pose with this type of background and in this style, and that all these control settings will improve over time. However, to be specific, you first need to know what you want. And even if it was given to you, like in a project, the level of specificity required for professional work or for your own comics and stories is what I think very far from that future. At least for people with zero art skills. We can't really tell to what extent AI will be able to specify in the future, but we do know that for humans, that's almost infinite. You can keep changing stuff as much as you want, and having purpose behind every line. And to me, at least in my uneducated opinion, I think it's something that subconsciously matters to the viewer. But you know what? Even if all of that doesn't even hold true, there's still a massive positive from learning something like art. Once you know that you can learn something that takes years just to get good at it, it will be way easier for you to learn anything else. Mainly art-related stuff, of course, like ULOP or WLP. Modeling in 3D after years of just 2D. As AI advances, someone that has learned and has not stopped learning will be way better equipped to adapt, learning new and relevant skills faster than most. Having a very nice base to move from one art form to the other instead of being a sitting duck for AI to run over. Because AI tools are improving fast, but even if it's all gone in 5 years, I'd rather have 5 years of experience when the time comes instead of having wasted my time thinking it's all pointless anyway. And because I have other personal reasons to learn too. First off, it's fun. I love drawing, even if learning how to is frustrating as fuck. If it isn't fun to you, then find something that's more worth it, or just focus on learning that which will help no matter how AI advances. Stuff like theory behind what makes an image great, or something unrelated to art at all. Just learn something. The fulfillment you get from creating something out of pure effort will never be replaced by AI. And yeah, fulfillment is the second personal reason. No, this does not mean that I will stop posting AI tutorials, nor I'll stop using AI in any way. I'm just going to give a little bit more priority to learning how to draw. But I will still be posting AI tutorials every time I think I have something cool to share. Because I like AI. Maybe not how it came to be, but it is a great tool, and I want to help people that are not afraid of effort see it as such. And at the end of the day, we have to keep things realistic. The chances that AI disappears in the near future are pretty much non-existent. And it's not like complaining about it will give you any advantages. If anything, it keeps you blind to a new and very powerful technology. The world pushes new balance patches every day, and you can't just not update. A samurai saying you have no honor to a tank will not stop it from blowing them up. I do understand not wanting to use it, but at the very least stay informed. Or you could try to take advantage of it in a way that you deem more moral. I will be making a video about how to use AI to learn how to draw soon enough, without actually using it in your works. This might pop some doubts into your head about if I'm qualified for this or not, which is why the third personal reason I have for learning how to draw is for credibility and relatability. First, I need to be able to understand what a professional artist would want and could benefit from using AI. But it's meaningless that I do if I can't prove to artists that I can draw myself, because it will be very hard to get people's attention if I draw like this. You do not want to learn from a teacher that doesn't know what he's talking about. So, to accomplish the main goal I have for this channel, I need a minimum of skill that makes people not click away from the video on the first 5 seconds. My goal has always been to create a middle ground community in this AI war. A place where AI bros can stop being afraid of effort while sharing their knowledge on new AI tools and how they work, and where artists can be interested in AI and share their works without being shamed for it, while giving creative and artistic feedback to those who want and maybe lack the skills for it. So, sorry for the long break, I'm back, and even if I spend a long time without posting, I won't leave. From now on, I'll make more videos focused on creating your art with AI, with videos focused on uses of AI for artists. And of course, I will always try to include information that's useful for both parties. Let me know what you think about learning art in the comments, or if you have any ideas you'd like to see and you think fit the channel. Thank you so much for watching until the end, see you.